Hey, it's Shannon.
And artists.
And today we're going to talk about the different ways that you can pay for your closing costs. Stay tuned.
All right, so yeah, we're going to talk about today is in this crazy market, especially in our area. There's a lot of times that you're, as buyers, you're out there putting in offers, and once you finally get accepted, the only way you can get it accepted is to pay for your own closing costs. So I just want to give y'all some tips as buyers, and most of the realtors already know this, but hey, it's maybe a refresher for you on some of the creative ways we can do what we can do to help pay for closing costs. So one of the ways that I want to talk to you first about was down payment assistance programs. I know in the past it's probably been a dirty word, thinking that only low-income families can do that, and there are programs out there that are for low-income families, but there are also programs out there that, depending on how much you make, there are some income caps, but as long as you fall under the income cap, you can still utilize that program in order to help pay for those closing costs. So you may have your down payment, but they can help defer the cost of closing. So all the stuff, when we talk about closing costs, we're talking about stuff like your lender fees, of course, your appraisal, title, things of that nature. So those closing fees or closing costs, we can actually help get paid for by down payment assistance programs. And there are a lot in the state of Texas. The best way to find out which ones may fit for you is, of course, talk to a knowledgeable lender and be able to tell you, if you qualify, which ones you qualify for, and what the stipulations are on each individual program.
Right. And like Artist was saying, in the past it's kind of been taboo because most people think that if you're using down payment assistance, that means that you don't have the money for your down payment. But in this situation, it would be, hey, I have the money for my down payment, but I don't have both my down payment and all of the closing costs. So let me see if I can get some assistance for those closing costs. Another great thing that you can do is use premium pricing. So you can talk to your lender, somebody like us, and see if you can use premium pricing, which means basically taking a higher interest rate on your loan, and then the lender pays some of your closing costs for you. Now, of course, that's going to mean, like I said, a little bit higher of an interest rate, but in turn, we can pay a lot of your closing costs, and sometimes that makes way more sense than, having to try to get it out of your own pocket or what have you. So that's another way that we can do it, is just by basically lender paying some of those closing costs by giving a little bit higher of an interest rate.
Yeah, and it may sound like that some people say rolling in the closing costs into the loan. It's not, you really can't roll them into the loan, but right. This is a way to kind of, again, to be creative when it comes to helping you pay for closing costs. Another way is to, if you think that this is a wise strategy, you can always, just like even before this crazy market, you can up the price of the home, up the offer price of the home in order to cover those closing costs, and then or up the price of the home, and then the seller gives you concessions or basically money to pay for those closing costs. In this market, one of the things you got to be careful of, though, is the home styles to appraise for that amount. So if you're going in hard with a 10, 15, 20,000 plus over asking, that may not be a good strategy for you, because if at the end of the day it doesn't appraise for what you've offered, then that can cause other complications we've talked about in a different video. But so I'm not going to go over it now. But if you have questions about it, of course, you can always reach out to us. But that is an option. That is another creative strategy for helping pay for closing costs.
Yep. And then another way would be getting a gift. All of the loan programs allow for you to get a gift from a relative, family member, mom, dad, sister, brother, cousin, grandma, grandpa, somebody like that. If you have a family member that's willing to gift you the funds for your down payment or your closing costs, you can utilize a gift for a portion of that. We have a lot of buyers out there right now that think, oh my goodness, if I don't have the money for my down payment and my closing costs, I'm just not even going to be able to compete in this market. I'm not going to be able to win an offer. But that's really not the case, because there are some creative ways that you can get around that we've talked about. You just have to have an educated lender that can think outside of the box and try to help you with, utilizing what's available to you and things that you can use.
So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of creative ways out there, and we'd love to discuss it with you if you have the time, or if you want to know more information about it. You can always reach out to us by phone at 254-295-0905. You can reach out to us by email at teamalexander@fairwaymc.com, or on our website at www.alexandercares.com. We'd love to hear from you, especially since tomorrow is somebody's birthday. Not mine. I was born a little bit later in the year, but somebody here on film right now, it's their birthday tomorrow. So if you want to reach out to her by phone, email, or Facebook. She does have a Facebook. I'm pretty sure most of y'all seen it already. Yeah, reach out to her and let her know happy birthday and that you're thinking of her. We'd love to hear from y'all, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.